So I got my ASIC back, but it's not the same ASIC, really. I will leave timestamps in the description as well as along the timeline below. If you want to skip ahead for anything, go for it. In a previous video, I showed that I won an Antminer T17 Plus off of Twitter, and when it arrived, it was destroyed. I mean, it was fucked. Reached out to the seller, I guess, the person that gave it away or the company that gave it away, and they pretty much told me good luck. So I looked around and found a repair company. There's actually quite a few of them, I'm surprised, here in Georgia, and there was one that was a couple hours away from the house, and they were interested in helping me out. So unfortunately, the day that I went out there, the owner was unavailable, so I met with a couple of techs and talked to some people there and learned a whole lot about Bitcoin miners, specifically about what they repair and how they repair things, what's a very commonly broken piece on a lot of these machines. So the T17 was damaged beyond repair. Nothing on it was really salvageable. Every single board in it was bad, every single one. So this company that I've met with is Dalton ASIC Repair. They're up in Dalton, Georgia. They repair pretty much just Bitcoin miners. They can and have worked on other miners in the past, but that's their bread and butter, right? Is like Avalons and Bitmains, just anything that's like Bitcoin specific that comes in big volume. They have a pretty big, fairly big warehouse, and there were probably over 1,000 individual ASIC machines there for repair at any given time. Plus they've got, you know, a wall of parts, power supplies, boards, all that stuff. So this was pretty cool. When I went and dropped this off a couple of weeks ago, I actually met with the owner at that time, and she kind of walked me through some of their process. And this here is actually the repair summary for my specific machine. And she does this for every customer. So when they send in 500 machines or 5 machines, they'll fill out, you know, a different line for each machine and the serial number. And I looked and it actually matches, of course. And it gives a diagnosis. Like this one, for example, had 3 bad hash boards and a bad control board. So every single board in this thing was trash. The repairs, they put a new control board in it and they swapped it with 3 S17 Plus boards. The paperwork here says it's hashing at 75 terahash. They actually wrote on the front of this here where the T17 Plus was, where it said 58 terahash, they wrote right above it S17 Plus 70 terahash. So the boards are 70 T models, but it actually ended up hashing at 75. And it had a little sticker on the top here when I opened the box. It has, you know, my name on it, the terahash, you know, TH75 for how it was hashing, their description on 3 bad hash boards, bad control board, swap 3 hash boards and a new control board. And it's a really cool process. So talking to her, she's like, you know, we'll get these machines back time and time again, and we can always go back and refer to the repair summary to see if it's a repair that we did. You know, if it got sent to another repair shop and they screwed it up, and then it comes back and they try to blame, you know, Dalton for the repair, and they're like, yeah, we didn't do that last time. Or she said, you know, if we did repair it and it comes back it's broken, that same piece is broken again, they'll fix it again. It's under their warranty. So let's get into some of the video that I took while I was at this massive repair shop.
What is up, guys? I'm here at Dalton ASIC Repair, little town in North Georgia, where they fix Bitcoin machines. Can you believe it? So I brought that T17 that I got from Riglist. I brought that out here. It was pretty much beyond repair, so they gutted it and replaced it, and let's go check it out.
So most of our stuff here we're seeing with the S19s is trace repair and temperature sensor replacements.
Okay. What is your favorite ASIC to work on, and why?
Avalon.
Yeah.
Avalon, definitely. That was probably because whenever I was first lead ASIC last year in March is whenever I became lead ASIC here. that was kind of we didn't know anything about Avalon. We just started getting them in, particularly the 1246 series and the 1166 series.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, that's what got me, I guess, into my position later on as special project management, is because I went above and beyond to figure out how I could work on these machines and make them better.
Yeah.
So I can go through probably like 30 boards a day with Avalon, whereas I do maybe 10 with these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
just clicks with you.
It does. Matter of fact, that right there, those are Avalon boards.
All these boards?
No, these right here.
These right here.
These four. These are Avalon boards. These are aluminum, so they have monolithic heat sinks on the bottom and top. All of their hardware, or not hardware, all of the chips and stuff are on one side on the top. That's why you see everything right here. And the back is completely metal. So for trace repairs, chip replacements, it actually makes it, for me, I think it's easier, because with these boards you have layers of PCB right here, and your traces are in between
In
these
between
layers,
them. Oh, okay.
which makes these a little bit harder to
Yeah,
work
so it's
on.
not like surface mount.
No, no. They do, S19 does have the AL series, which stands, I'm guessing, for aluminum series. Those are really fun to work with. They're easier, but we don't see too many of those.
Okay. And do you mainly do Bitcoin ASICs?
We've done one Ethereum.
Yeah.
We've had a few A11s, which is still Bitcoin, but it's not the same as like ASIC. Like I said, it's GPU mining. It's kind of a completely different ballgame, but we try to stay away from that just because with ASICs, they're easier to work on. It's most of what you see now, and we mostly do Bitcoin. We just mostly stick to Bitcoin. Because I mean, we've done over 1,000 machines in under 2 weeks before. We have an 80% repair rate. So you send in 10 machines, we'll at least get 8.
Oh wow.
Typically, yeah. So we have a pretty good rate.
Yeah.
We're also really competitive on pricing. Our diagnosis fee is only $50, whereas most people's is like $200 to $250.
Oh my gosh, just to look at it.
Just to look at it.
Oh geez. You know, how do you feel about the next Bitcoin halving?
A little nervous about it, just because, man, I've seen so many repair shops in the last year have closed, and everything's kind of up in the air. I feel like everybody's either completely banking on Bitcoin or they're completely pulling out now.
Yeah.
So honestly, the most interesting thing to me right now in the crypto is I'm really interested to see what machines come out with the Ethereum merge.
Yeah.
Whenever that happen, I want to see what kind of new machines they have.
Yeah.
I believe on our website and everything, we usually quote 4 to 6 weeks, which is one of the fastest turnaround rates.
Really? Oh, cool.
And a lot of times for like smaller people, we're typically in and out within 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. So you'll do onesie twosie. You're not like, well, you gotta have a minimum of 100.
No. We take individuals all the time.
Oh, cool.
All the time.
Very
Matter
cool.
of fact, it's one of the things I'm working on as an individual. It makes it a little harder to do individuals though, because like with these big companies, they'll be like, okay, you can use the broken machines to fix them.
Right,
So
yeah.
for individuals, it tends to be priced higher because we have to buy new parts for all of your stuff. We can't, unless you send something that we can use off, like we're gonna have to charge you whatever we paid for that part and then our labor behind it. So it's, like I said, it's more expensive for individuals, but it's still the cheapest around for sure.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I want to say thank you to Dalton ASIC Repair, the owners over there, and the techs and everybody that I talked to for not only working with me and working with Rigless to get this machine fixed to the point where it's actually usable now. They really went above and beyond and knocked this thing out for me. I mean, they reached back out to me like, I think 2 days later and said, hey, it's done. And it took a while to get a hold of, the individual rig list to pay them. I didn't want to touch his money. Like, I don't need to be involved with that. Here's the invoice. You work with them directly. So they worked all that out as far as like payments for the repairs and stuff. I didn't want anything to do with it. No like conflict of interest there. I'm not trying to like take your money and run or any kind of shit like that. I just wanted it to be honest and real. I want a machine, it's supposed to be working. I wanted my fucking machine. It's just me. Anyway, this is a good point in the video to say if this is something that interests you and you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button, it really helps the channel. I will leave the contact information for Dalton ASIC Repair in the description down below. If you need some machines repaired, I think they said it was $50 to check out the machine and like run a diagnostic test on it and tell you what all is wrong with it and give you a quote. I haven't asked around to any other shops, but $50 is pretty reasonable. Well, let's go out and get this thing plugged up and hashing. I want to mine some freaking Bitcoin already.
So I opted not to replace these fans yet because the cables on the parallel miner fans just aren't long enough to reach where they need to plug in on the control board. So for the moment, I'm just gonna run with what is already on it still. And in the future, if I need to replace them, I'll just have to extend these wires, a little bit of soldering and some heat shrink, and I'll be good to go. In the meantime, let's get this bad boy hashing. All right. We've got 2 power plugs for this bad boy, the C13s, I think, to the C14 plug. We'll get this plugged in, get an Ethernet on it, and turn it on. So we're gonna go ahead and plug these 2 in. Doesn't look like it's hashing just yet. So I'm wondering if they pulled their config off after they did testing. Part of their process when they do the repair is they, do the physical repair, then they plug it in and they burn it in. They've got a giant wall, and maybe I'll put up a video now, but they've got a giant wall of where they plug in the ASICs and test everything out, put in their configurations, mine to the pool, and there it goes. And they let it burn in for, an hour, 2 hours, sometimes longer if needed. I guess it depends on the repair and what all was wrong with it. But let's go inside and see if we can find that IP address and put our own configuration in and get it mining. Oh man, I can hear it. I can hear it as soon as I open the door to my house. Not as loud as I thought it'd be, but it's not quiet. Not too bad. About 3,000 watts, so 12 and a half amps. So 2,980 watts. Oh yeah. Oh, she's a warm back there, man. Turn this guy on. Yeah, so 3,000 watts, 74 terahash. Let's see how many Satoshis that makes a day. Hey, it works. That was the whole point, right? Got to get it working.
So yeah, I mean, this is obviously success. Look at that real-time hash rate is 75 terahash, 75.6 terahash at 3,000 watts. Let's get into a couple of calculators. We'll look on what to mine. Cadena. So we're at 75 terahash, and what was it? It was 2980, wasn't it? 2980. So mining direct, we'll get about 20,000 Satoshis a day, which is what I want to do. I don't know, nice hash isn't bad. I do get a little bit more, 21,000 Satoshis a day, Bitcoin direct. The benefit there is it's virgin Bitcoin. So if you look at it because nice hash, you're getting paid in whatever Bitcoin they have that they're paying you. You're not mining it directly from the pool. Whereas something like F2 pools, from what I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong, F2 pool is mining direct. It's a bunch of people putting their, hash rates together and mining it directly and getting paid out directly from the blockchain. It's not like a third party like NiceHash is. The benefit with virgin Bitcoin is it hasn't been tainted. It doesn't have a history like that has to been gone through to validate that it wasn't used for nefarious purposes. Every Satoshi is accounted for, you know what I mean? So this means it originated on the blockchain and ended in my wallet. I feel like in the future it's already going for a higher premium than general Bitcoin prices. Upwards of 30% more value. But the point here is that it works. I've got my ASIC back. I've got it working. It's better than it originally was and was originally supposed to be. It's unfortunate that this happened, but luckily it happened to someone like me that's able to get it straightened out and rectified. If it happened to somebody else, they may have just blown it off and moved on and just let the situation happen, and feel that's not okay. That's not a good way to do business. You don't want to take advantage of people like that. do unto others, right? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Consider subscribing to the channel to see what kind of cool stuff I do with this Bitcoin ASIC. There are merge mining pools out there for Bitcoin. You can mine other SHA-256 coins out there at the same time that you're mining BTC. Yeah, so consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button to like the video if you did. And of course, thanks for watching. There are merge mining pools out there for Bitcoin.